Good day, YouTube. This is Jay Money with Following Forward Financial. Just found another semiconductor one here. It was doing a video on Intel, and this is the third Chinese semiconductor and that I found here in the $5 to $6 range with a fat dividend. So this is the third one. This is the lowest paying dividend, but still quite high for the stock price, so thought this would be something interesting to see who out there has this one. This is ASE Technology. As you can see, what they've done here over the last year, or haven't done, but they're actually down over 38% in the last year. Past 3 months down over 25%. Here in the last month, they're down over 24%. In the last week, they're actually in the green, 2.23%. And here's a look at today. So they basically lost all of those earnings. But this is ASE Technology. Ticker is ASX. And again, if you don't know much about this one, they're a semiconductor. I do like to point out the ADR. The first time I ever found out about an ADR, I had Alibaba, and they charged me like $38 to have the stock. So I was like, screw that, and sold Alibaba. So, but if you don't know much about an ADR, it says right here, they are American depository receipts represent shares of non-U.S. based companies. Banks issued ADRs. And this is what it said on the last three, typically anywhere from 1 cent to 3 cents per share. So this is founded in 1984, and with a $10.88 billion market cap, high today of $5.12, low of $5.04. So if you wanted to trade this one, it'd be a nice cheap stock to trade. Or if you had so many shares of it, 100, you could even do an option. It would be a fairly cheap one to do an option. Again, I don't give tax, legal, or trading advice, just state my opinion. 52-week high of 962 and a low of 488 with a 6.93 dividend yield, so kind of crazy. 6 million on the average volume and a volume of 4.65 today. 65% ratings on the buy. And here's a look at their next earnings on July 28th in the pre-market. So here is the other one that I just did a video on. It's $6.55, and I believe it was also in the 6% yield in regards to the dividend, but I'll link that in the description. Over here on Microsoft Bing, currently showing this one as a buy with a 1-year price target of $8. ASE Technology, June Q2 revenues climb, and this is just dated on the 8th. So reported Friday higher consolidated net revenues for June 2022, as well as the second quarter. For the month of June, net revenues climbed 33.9%, $58 billion from $43.33 billion last year. The monthly net revenues were $1.97 billion, up 25.6% from the prior year's $1.57 billion. Sequentially, net revenues grew 7.8% in local currencies as well as U.S. dollar terms. On a pro forma basis, revenues grew 40.7% in local currencies and 32% in U.S. dollar terms. For second term, net revenues climbed 26.4% to $160 billion. And so there is some growth, some volatility with this one. So ASE Technology Holding, today's hot stock, and this is dated at the end of June. So I'm not going to read over all of this since the price has definitely changed since then, but most of this information we've already went over, so feel free to pause and go over that there for yourself. So a forward dividend at 48 cents with a yield of 7.98%, and so it's down a little bit since then. So the one that I did on HiMax, I can't remember the price on that, but it wasn't much, 6 or 7. it had like a 18%. I think it was paying out $1.25 a year. It was like $6.93 per share on that one, but you can find that one in the library as well. I just did a video on that one today. So there have been no upward and no downward revisions to the stock's EPS in the last 7 days, something that reflects the nature of the company's price movement in the short term. And here it kind of goes over, it looks like it's a sell, and we'll go over some ratings here at the end. So looking further, we note that the PEG ratio for the ASE stock currently stands at 0.17, most recent price level at minus 20.78%. And moving on to here, ASE Technology Holding ADR shares close in on a 52-week low, market mover. This is at the end of June, and I think we're pretty much right in that same range. So shares closed today 0.6% above its 52-week low of $4.98, giving the company a market cap of $10 billion. The stock is currently down 30.3%. Year to date, down 31.1% over the past 12 months and up 6.6% over the past 5 years. This week, the Dow Jones Industrial Average fell 1.3% and S&P fell 2.3%. So the RSI on the stock was under 30, indicating it may be underbought. MACD is a trend. Following momentum indicator indicates a downward trend. Market comparative performance, the company's share price is the same as the S&P index, lags on the 1 year and lags it on the 5-year basis as well. So over here on Reddit, investors warn against buying the dip in the market downturn as ASX drops for the year, set to tumble. Over here on StockTwits, currently at $5.05, 52-week low of $4.88, high of $9.62. Bulls and Bears, who will win? Down 5.65%, downtrend sliding for 3 consecutive days on July 1st. So it's getting close to a level where it just kind of teases you, makes you want to buy some, but I'm still researching this one. Advanced Semiconductor Engineering files Form 6K. So like I said, I just found this one and looked kind of interesting, so I thought I'd do a video on it. It's got great ratings. It's showing a buy rating with an upside to $7.97 plus the dividend. So I don't know. I'm watching it, but there's this one, HIMX, and UMC that I just did a video on. I'll link all those in the description. Like I said, you can just find those out today. So. But this is another semiconductor one with a fat, juicy dividend and a low price. So, but again, people might say this one is a value trap, just like the REIT that I've talked about numerous times here on the channel, ORC, that I still have shares of. So, price keeps going down, and the dividend is still being paid out, and it's a fat dividend. So. But that's it for ASX. If you have this one, go ahead and list it in the comments along with your cost basis, any other information you'd like to share. And if you haven't smashed that like button yet, go ahead and hit that for me, as well as subscribing and hit the bell so you're notified of when the next videos drop. Again, this is J Money following Ford Financial. Happy trading, happy investing, stay green. Cheers.